Hello everyone. In this video, I will introduce two investment criteria. The first one is called the payback period. The second one is called the average accounting return. And both those two investment criteria are not our primary criteria. Our primary criteria are what we learned before: NPV rules and AAR rules. And the payback period is how many years to recover a project's cost. And this does not include the time value of money. And the computation is quite straightforward. So first, we need to estimate the cash flows. With those cash flows, we can find out how many years we can recoup our initial cost. Here is a formula for payback period. It's really, if we at the first glance, it's hard to understand. Later, I will use some examples to illustrate. It's a very straightforward concept, and it doesn't allow a lot of very complicated calculation. Payback period is number of years prior to full recovery plus unrecovered cost at the start of the full recovery year divided by cash flow during the full recovery year. The payback period is mainly used to measure the liquidity of the project. The shorter the payback period, the faster you can collect your initial investment back, and the better the liquidity. The decision rules is that there's a preset limit. Like for example, the firm may require project has a payback period less than 3 years or less than 5 years, except if the payback period is less than this preset limit. So here's our examples from the NPV and IRR sections. So let's calculate the project L's payback period. So we invest $100 at t equal to 0, and at t equal to 1, we receive $10, which means, so at t equal to 0, we have this so-called cumulative cash flows. At t equal to 0, we spend $100, so it's negative 100 means we have $100 cash outflows. At t equal to 1, because we receive $10, so the cumulative cash flows will be negative 100 plus $10 equals to negative $90. It means at the end of year 1, we actually spend $90 because we collect $10 back. And at t equal to 2, we receive $60, so which means right now the cumulative cash flow is negative 90 plus 16 equals to negative 30, means like we still have $30 that we haven't collected back. And for year 3, we receive $80, and then our cumulative cash flow equals to negative 30 plus 80 equals to $50. It's positive, means like at the end of year 3, we not only recoup all our initial cost, we will not only collect back all our initial cost, we make a positive cash flow, which is $50. So at year 3, our cash flow, cumulative cash flow, changes from negative to positive. So this year 3 is fully recovery year, which means we recover all our initial investment back. And the payback period equals to the previous year, 1 year ahead of fully recovery year, which is 2, plus the uncovered cost at the beginning of the year, which is $30, divided by the total cash flow over year 3. So it equals to 2.375, which means we use 2.375 years to recover, to collect back all our initial investment. Project S payback period is the same. So we first list the cash flows, then we can list the cumulative cash flows. For t equal to 0, the cumulative cash flow is negative 100. And at t equal to 1, for project S, we have a $70 cash inflows. So the cumulative cash flow for t equal to 1 is negative $30. And t equal to 2 is $50. So at the end of t equal to 2, we have actually a cumulative cash flow to $20. It's positive. It means that we not only collect back all our initial investment, we earn $20 cash inflows. So the payback period, so year 2, that is the full recovery year. And 1 year ahead of full recovery year is 1, plus the beginning, the cumulative cash flows at the beginning of the year, year 2, divided by the total cash flow earned in year 2. So in total, we earn 1.6, we use 1.6 years to collect all our initial costs for project S. Practice, assume a firm requires all projects to have a payback period of 3 years or less. We have a project here. Should the firm undertake this project? So we calculate the cumulative cash flows. So for t equal to 0, the cumulative cash flow is the initial investment. At year 1, we collect $1,000. So the cumulative cash flow is negative 9,000. At the end of year 2, we collect 1,000 again. The cumulative cash flow is 8,000. And at the end of year 3, we collect 12,000. So the cumulative cash flow is 4,000. It turns from negative to positive. So year 3 is the year we collect all our initial investment. And the payback period is 1 year ahead of this full recovery year, which is 2 plus the beginning balance of cumulative cash flow at the beginning of year 3, divided by the total cash flows earned over year 3. So it's 2.667. And because this is less than 3, the preset limit, so we should accept this project. One more practice. We have 2 projects, and the firm requires all project has a payback period of 2 years or less. And which project should the firm take? So for project A, we found out the cumulative cash flows, and the payback period, year 3 is a fully recovered year. So the payback period is 2 plus 8,000 divided by 100,000. So it's 2.08. It's greater than 2 years. So of course, according to the preset limit, we should reject it. The second one, the cumulative project B, the cumulative cash flow for t equal to 0 is 10,000, t equal to 1 is negative 5,000, and t equal to 2 is 0. So we know the payback period of project B is 2. So we should accept B. And then let's list IRR and NPV of those 2 projects. We found the IRR of project A is 120.4%. NPV is positive. For IRR of B is 1.3%. NPV is negative 1,172%. Here, this is what I gave to you. So there's no relation between a given payback period and the investor wealth maximization. You can see even B has a slightly smaller payback period. The IRR of B is much less than IRR of A, and the NPV of B is also less than NPV of A. So the strengths and weakness of payback period, it provides an indication of project's liquidity, whether we can collect our initial cost very fast. It's easy to calculate and very easy to understand. However, it ignores the time value of money and it ignores the cash flow occurs after the payback period. For project A and project B, after this payback period of 2 years, project A has a lump sum that is huge, but for project B, it only has $200. Payback period ignore this huge amount of cash flows after payback period. That's the weakness of payback period. Another practice, find out the payback period, AAR, and NPV of project A and B. The weighted average cost of capital for both projects are 10%. So for payback period of A, I give you the cumulative cash flows, so we know it should be, this is the fully recovery year. So the payback period for A should be 2 plus 8,000 divided by 9,000 is 2.89. IRR is 3.57%, and the NPV is negative 1,500 to 0.63. For payback period B, I also gives you the cumulative cash flows, and year 3 is also the fully recovery year, and the payback period is equals to 2 plus 1,000 divided by 1,200. It's 2.83. IRR of B is 1.23. NPV is also negative. As a summary of payback period, it doesn't account for time value of money, so we add the cash flows at the different time points. We didn't discount it. It's not account for the risk of cash flows. It does not provide an indication for the increase of value. Remember, for project A and B, project A has much larger NPV, but according to payback period, we should reject it. We do not consider the payback period as a primary decision criteria. The last criteria is called average accounting returns, equals to average net income divided by average book value. Also, we need a percent limit as a cutoff. And the decision rule is more like a payback period. We accept the project if we have an average accounting return that is greater than the percent rate. Assume that we require an average accounting return of 25%. So this delta mu delta is considering purchase some new equipment costing this amount of money. The equipment will be depreciated on a straight line basis to a zero book value over the 4-year life of the project. Projected net income for the 4 year, this is a net income. And then what's the average accounting rate of return? So the average book value will be 393,000 plus 0 divided by 2. So the average book value over the 4 years is 196,500. And the average income is 22,075. So the AAR is 11.23%. It's less than the percent rate, 25%, so we reject it. Some of you ask why we calculate average book value like this. So let's think about the depreciation. It equals to this price of this fixed assets minus 0 divided by 4. So it equals to 98,250. And then what's the book value at each year? So today this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the book value at t equal to 0 is 98,250. At the, t equal to 0, the book value of this asset is 393,000. And at t equal to 1, it will be this number, the total price, minus the depreciation over the first year. You will find it's 294,750. At the end of year 2, the book value will be this amount of the book value at the end of the year 1 minus depreciation again. At the end of the year 3, it will be the book value at the end of year 2 minus the depreciation again. And at the year 4, the book value reaches to 0 because we said it's a straight line basis to a 0 book value. Then we can find out the average book value over those 5 years. So it is 393,000 plus 294,750 plus divided by 5. You will find that it's equals to this 390, it's equals to this 196,500. So this is just a shortcut of this calculation. If we use the modified accelerated cost recovery system, we cannot use this formula. Another practice, auto detailers is buying some new equipment at a cost of 188,900. This equipment will be depreciated at a straight line basis to the 0 book value, over its 8-year life. The equipment is expected to generate net income of 11,000 a year for the first 4 years and 24,000 a year for the last 4 years. What's the average accounting rate of return? So the average book value, we use the shortcut method we learned in the previous slides. It's 94,450. The average net income, it's calculated. The first 4-year net income summation is 11,000 times 4. The next 4 years total net income is 24,000 times 4 and divided by 8. So the average net income is 17,500. The AAR, average accounting return, is 18.528. And does the AAR rule account for time value of money? No. We do not discount any cash flows by any discount rate. Does the AAR rules account for the risk of the cash flows? No. Does the AAR rules provide an indication of increase in value? Yes. If AAR is greater than the preset limit, preset rate, which means it's higher than our required returns, and we do not consider AAR rules for our primary decision criteria. Our conclusion, the single best criteria is NPV rules. It shows a net gain for this project. Payback period provides liquidity indication. The greatest weight should be given to NPV, but all should be considered. The firm usually evaluated the project from all those criteria to see whether it provided enough liquidity, higher returns using IRR, and adding values to NPV using NPV criteria. So that is chapter 11. Thank you for watching.